I'm Nicola Truelove. I'm a personal trainer and online coach. I work at Arnold's Gym on the Wirral, and I just wanted to put together something to hopefully help kind of demystify what you need to do to set yourself up in the best possible place for a weight loss goal. So, without further ado, here we go. The most important thing when looking at losing weight or body fat, whatever you want to call it, to look more toned, you need to really understand what your starting point is. So I have used parts of my own situation and made some other bits up to be able to give you this starting point, which hopefully you can relate to. So my name, Nicola Truelove. I'm 39 years old. I'm a female. I am 4'11". Yes, I am that short. That's true. I'm currently 56 kilograms, so that's 8 stone, 11 and a half pounds. However you want to however works for you to understand it, or nearly 124 pounds. Say that my activity level is generally around 6,000 steps per day, but I'm not really sure. It's not something that I currently monitor. My situation is that I'm a busy mum. I also work full time. I tend to grab food on the go. I don't really plan anything. I put everyone first and everything else first as well. But what I really want to do is within 12 weeks, I want to make some changes to that. 12 weeks away also is the 1st of July as I'm currently recording it. So that is plenty of time for the summer. You'll also see my little puppy in there too, little Lula. So, understanding your starting point then allows you to identify what you need to do in between where you are now and where you want to be and how long that can take as well. So, next slide. Really getting down into the nitty gritty and the reasons why you want to achieve your goal. So, say my goal is 50k, and that's the picture that I put on the side as well. Because I have done this weight loss multiple times, so I can actually show you what happens and what the differences are. What are the reasons that I want to reach that goal? So I want to lose these 12 pounds because I want to get to my happy weight, and that is a weight that I feel best in myself. I feel more comfortable. I have really happy memories around that. Regardless of the reasoning behind all of that, that's how I feel at that weight. I want to feel comfortable in my own skin. I want to lose some body fat and I want to look more toned. So I want to kind of address key areas. I want to bring them back in line, and that happens by losing body fat. So that's like across my back, around my stomach, overall looking a bit more toned. I also want to feel fitter and stronger as well. I want to feel healthier. It makes me feel happy when I don't feel that I'm struggling from a fitness perspective as well. And I've got a holiday booked for the 7th of July, which is just over 12 weeks away. And I want to get into a pair of denim shorts that I previously wore on holiday and I felt great. And there's nothing wrong with having these goals. In fact, bringing your goals to life and really getting down into them and understanding why can be really helpful to motivate you within this 12-week period where you are going to commit to a weight loss or dieting phase. Next slide. So now we've got our starting point. We've then got why we want to do this. Now we need to understand, do we know what to do within that time period to get to where we want to be? So how am I going to do that? So the first place that we start is about being able to estimate your current energy balance. And that's so we can work out our target calories. So calories are a really useful tool to be able to understand how much food we are eating or how many calories we are drinking. So the energy that we're putting into our body and then the energy that we're expending. It's much easier to calculate the energy we're intaking. So that's why we look at how many calories does my body need to be able to stay the same. And then when we're looking at a sustainable diet and a sensible weight loss target, we're looking to reduce that by 10 to 15, up to 20% at times as well. And we work it out as an average daily calorie target. So mine, for example, is 1500 to 1650. The reason why I've put that as a range is because it's actually very difficult and it's unnecessary to hit a specific number bang on every day. That would generally lead to you eating exactly the same food, being really restrictive with your choices, and it's not realistic within 12 weeks. That would be really difficult, particularly for a lifestyle goal as well. The other and the most important factor within that as well is that that will mean you will completely change your habits and behaviours from what they currently are, and more than likely you would want to revert back to your old existing habits when you were in a body which was a stone heavier. So having a great difference between a dieting phase and a maintenance phase in the rest of your life when you've achieved your goal, if there's a big difference between those two behaviours, that's quite often what leads into reverting back to your old habits and therefore gradually putting the weight back on. So if we have a bit more of a range with flexibility, it allows you to try different things within that period and still lose weight. Looking at the average daily steps, so this again is on average, increasing that to 8 to 10,000 a day, which is a fantastic target for overall cardiovascular health. And then also it's a great way to increase your fat loss without really putting in too much effort. I know from my experience that having an extra 2,000 steps a day over a long period of time makes a significant difference to help me towards my goals without me kind of really noticing. It works out at about an extra 15 to 20 minutes a day. And walks are great. You can also combine them with other things that you're doing as well. I want to commit to 2 gym sessions a week, and they will be for 1 hour, so we'll get a plan towards that as well. Within my diet, I want to make sure I include a variety of fruit and vegetables on a daily basis because that will help my body function properly. Leading on to 3 litres of water per day because hydration is so important to everything that our bodies need to do. Also, we manipulate the diet so that we increase our levels of protein, which is great for optimal health overall. So 100 grams minimum per day, which really should be quite straightforward once you get into the swing of things. So that's 3 to 4 portions of 20 to 25 grams of protein per day. Around 100 grams of chicken will be around the 22 to 25 grams of protein serving. And then I'm looking to do this over 12 weeks for 1 stone of body fat being lost. And based on my calculations and also my experience, I know that this should get me towards that goal. So I'm looking at committing to this for 12 weeks. Don't have to be perfect, but I do have to be consistent. So now that I've got my goal defined, I need to then really dig into how am I going to do this? Are there things that I know have made it difficult in the past? So can I identify these barriers to those actions? So is it, how am I going to get to the gym? Which gym am I going to go to? What am I going to do when I get there? My calorie target, what does that look like? Is there anything that I can do to prepare for that as well? Do I need to find some recipes? Can I ask some friends? Can I do a bit of a Google search? Can I go on YouTube and look at some high protein? Is there a coach that I can ask for this as well? And preparing for what that day would look like within that nutritional structure is key to being able to do it. Secondly, with your steps, do you know how long that will take you? Do you know what your current expenditure is? How many steps do you currently get? Can you monitor them? Are you in a situation where you can monitor it with steps, or do you need to do it from more a time perspective? So, for example, 40 minutes of walking a day to add in. What times work best for you to be able to fit that in? Could you get up 20 minutes earlier, go for a little walk around the block, especially now it's getting a bit lighter? Or is it easier to do that throughout the day? Just grab 10 minutes whilst you're on the phone to somebody. Can you ditch the car and walk somewhere instead? Is that feasible? What are the easier ways for this to be able to make it sustainable for you to then complete those actions, which will then lead you towards your goals? Is there any support that you can get from your spouse, family and or friends? You definitely don't have to do this on your own, and quite often speaking to people about it and gaining their support and their understanding around your goal and them feeling a part of it can really help you to stay motivated, and it helps them to feel a part of it as well. Quite often when people change their behaviours, you can feel kind of like this abrasion against it or this friction. And one thing that I found that can really help with that is when clients speak to people and their family about it and ask them for some help as well to be able to achieve it. Quite often, the knock on impact is that they actually end up doing some of this for themselves as well and get involved. So that can be a really nice way to help towards your goal and help them towards theirs too. Um, do you need a PT to help you into the gym? Does your gym do free inductions? Is there an online coach that you can speak to? Or do you need some guidance specifically from me, for example? Um, is there a friend that you can talk to as well for moral support and encouragement? Maybe someone who feels the same way as you, or maybe somebody who would like, to do this with you as well. That can really help, and having some understanding, somebody who understands what you're going through as well. Do you want to have some more accountability and therefore share your goal with others as well? This can often help people to actually encourage you with your progress rather than unintentionally sabotage things. There are lots of things that you can do, different activities as well, and ways that you can spend time with people that doesn't need to result in overeating, binging, taking you away from your goals. You can incorporate that into things and still have a really nice time because of the memories and the moments that you're creating and sharing with those that you love. And I think that they would more than likely be really happy to support you in your goals as well. And that's why going back to having a plan which is realistic and it is sustainable is really important, because you shouldn't have to miss out on anything, but you will have to adapt things because you do want to make some changes. So yeah, often sharing your goal with others and the reasons why you are doing it as well can really help you along that journey too, and makes them feel involved in it as well. Um, 7. So how have you factored in how you are going to monitor your progress as well? Now, at the beginning of your journey, it can be so difficult to want to take those progress photos or those videos, because very rarely are we starting from a place of confidence, thinking we're going to do this, I know it. You often starting from a place where you feel really uncomfortable about yourself. However, I really, with hindsight, the amount of times that I love to look back at those old photos that I don't have. I just had those feelings, and probably it wasn't as bad as I ever thought it was. Um, and I now find it really motivating to see as as my body and physique changes, um, the differences that you can see when you put them side by side with a few weeks apart is so powerful and so motivating. And it also can really help kind of show others what you're doing as well, and that it is possible. It's all absolutely possible. But that can be a real motivator tool. So I really do encourage you, even if it's just for you and you never look at them until you get to the end of your goal, really do take those photos and those videos to show where you started and then where you get to, because you will be so proud of yourself. Then the last one there is, do you have a plan and do you understand how to maintain your goal once you have reached it? So by this I mean that quite a lot of us can be like filter everything out for a short period of time, follow something which is really strict and really rigid, but then once you've reached it, the reins are off and we lose all of our results. So, by doing things in a conscious way, really understanding the reasons why you are doing something, the steps you are taking, and how they contribute towards your goal as well. So, going back to your steps, that's for cardiovascular health, so that your heart is healthy, your body can move better, your strength training, so that you're building and maintaining shape by having some muscle, and then nutritionally, are you ticking your boxes so that your body can function its best, so that you can sleep really well? Are you hydrated? Do you understand why all those different elements are coming together and why they will be needed once you've reached your body fat goal? Because it's actually for an overall health. So they can all help. I hope that that's been helpful. But obviously, if you do need any help and support, just realise there's a typo on there as well, Nicola. But this is keeping it real. Um, I am a one-to-one coach at Arnold's Gym in Morton on the Wirral, and then I've also got online coaching available too. Everything from training programs, individually tailored nutritional programs as well, the combination of the two. And yeah, if you enjoyed that, or if there is anything that you want me to clarify on, or you'd like to see something in the future from me, please just drop me a message and I will be delighted to help you. Thank you very much for your time.